Well, guys, after a shockingly poor performance in August for the just my general reading, I'm really kind of gonna switch it up this month and do a bit more mood reading and just read books I really want to read and kind of break my schedule. So I'm really excited for the month of September. So let's talk about the books I'm gonna be reading.
Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel and making it the best it can be.
Well, fantasy fans, welcome back. It's Dan here with TreeBeard Book Reviews. Again, guys, thank you for supporting the channel. If you enjoy the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It all helps me drive up that algorithm, gets people clicking on the videos, and if you feel by the end of the video that I earned your subscription, I really appreciate it. So let's talk about the books I'm going to be reading in the month of September. So pretty exciting, as you guys saw from the thumbnail. I got some pretty cool books from NetGalley, so I have a few arcs. So why don't we get right into those? So the book that I'm going to be starting this as soon as I finish my current read, which is Pyramids. I'm on probably the last 80 pages. I'm recording this on the 29th of August, so I should be wrapped that up in probably the next day. But I'm going to be starting Ashes of Man by Christopher Rocchio, book 5 in the Sun Eater cycle. I'm super excited to read this, guys. As you know, I've read all of Sun Eater so far this year. I'm caught up to date. There are a few things I need to read in Sun Eater. I need to read Queen Amid Ashes, it's his new short story. I also need to read some of the other Tales of a Sun Eater, Volume 1 and Volume 2. But I will be getting to those later because there's going to be a special edition coming out from Enderita Books, and I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to be ordering both of those on there. So I cannot wait for Ashes of Man. I just absolutely love the story that Christopher Rocchio is writing here with Hadrian Marlowe, and it is my favorite sci-fi series right now. I cannot wait to dive back into Sun Eater. So I'm going to be starting it probably in 2 days. So that is the first book I'm going to be reading in the month of September. All right, so the next arc I got, which I was super excited for, was the Sapphire Altar by David Dalglish. This is the second book in the Vagrant God series by David Dalglish. I really loved The Bladed Faith. I really enjoyed it. It was just such a fun read, very quick. It had all the things I kind of like, with like interventionist gods, a very, quick but quick magic system that made a lot of sense and it really fit within the world. I just felt really immersed with his writing. So I got the Sapphire Altar. He actually sent me the arc directly from NetGalley, so I was super excited to get that. Can't wait to read it. This was one of my favorite books of the year, and yeah, I know, and like David has said, he told me, he's like, this is my best book yet. And actually it was confirmed by his editor and like other people. And just like look at this cover, like the cover is just absolutely amazing too. I have really high hopes for this series. I cannot wait for the third book to come out. It sounds like he's already writing it, so just super impressed with David Dalglish's writing, his ability to produce books. So again, two authors who I really like, Christopher Rocchio, David Dalglish, both very prolific writers, and I think are some of the best authors writing right now. So those are my two arcs that I'm going to be reading those back to back, like going like Ashes of Man straight into Sapphire Altar. Okay, so let's get on to some audiobook listens or audiobook reads that I have planned for the month of September. I did go back on my word here saying that, I'm not going to continue doing any more Dresden audiobooks. Not that they're not amazing, they're absolutely fantastic. But it's one of those series where I feel like I really want to read it just to kind of ingrain some of these characters a little bit more into my memory. I just have a bit more understanding of the recurring cast so that, when I see them in like, say, book 15 and they show up, like after not being on the page for 3 or 4 books, that I know who they are. But, I had an Audible credit that I really wanted to spend, and I had such a good time with Grave Peril. I will be doing a review for that on the channel. So I've actually opted to do the audiobook for Summer Night. So I am looking forward to listening for that. James Marsers is just a fantastic narrator. He really is Harry Dresden. So there's nothing wrong with his performance. It's just I really want to be a bit more I just want to be a bit more like sunk into the Dresden world because I'm really enjoying it. I can see Dresden being one of my favorite series of all time once I get to the end, or once I get caught up at least. So yeah, that is going to be my first audiobook listen of the month. I will be continuing with the series of Blood and Bone by John Gwynne, and I'll be reading A Time of Blood. So I listened to A Time of Dread last month in the month of August. It didn't really do it for me. I really didn't feel connected to any of the characters in that story. I'm gonna be doing another wrap up. I might be doing a video with, you know, getting several reviews out that are spoiler free, just to kind of share my opinions. But that one didn't do it for me, and I think if this one can't kind of pull me back in, I don't think I'll go ahead and finish the series. So I'm gonna give this one a shot, A Time of Blood, and I hope it just lives up to the John Gwynne expectation that I have. All right, guys, as you know, I do a quarterly book swap with my wife, and she's picked a very fun romance book for me this time. So she has picked The Takeover by T.L. Is it like Swan? Yeah, T.L. Swan. So she said this author's kind of hit or miss for her, but she said this is her favorite book by this author, The Takeover. Know nothing about it. Looks maybe like something to do with a lawyer. God, who knows? Like, I find with a lot of romances, like change the name, change the place, and boom, new book. But I'm gonna give this one a try. Like, my wife's really excited for me to try it. So this is one I'm probably gonna read it after I finish Sapphire Altar, because if I don't read it, she'll kick my butt. So I'm gonna be reading this. So I've actually given her a book, and my pick is Witches Abroad by Terry Pratchett. So I'm really excited to have my wife read this one. I'm actually going to be giving her the audiobook to listen to. I believe it's narrated by Nigel Planer. This is a book that I have listened to several times, just because it's one of those that I'll put on because it's so funny, and I just cannot wait for her to read this one. I hope she loves it as much as I do. It's full of fairy tales and folklore stuff, and it's just the witches being amazing. So I hope she will love this one. Alright, so I can't get away without also having a Pratchett read for the month. So I have a Pratchett book, and that is Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents. I have to throw a Pratchett in, and also, like, I want to get this read because there's a movie coming out in December. I did talk about this in my More Discworld News video, where I talked about the Amazing Maurice video coming out, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. So yeah, I'm actually really excited for the month of September. I'm trying not to set too crazy of a goal. I do want to be a bit realistic, and I'm hoping, you know, September is a little crazy, but only really the first 2 weeks, at least for my work. So it'll be a little bit more of a slower time, and I'm going to try and maybe take some vacation and heal a little bit with my foot, because my foot is still a bit sore. But guys, honestly, I'm really excited. I really want to know what you're going to be reading in the month of September. What's your most anticipated book? Just let me know down below in the comments, and yeah, tell me about it, because you know what, like, I get such fantastic recommendations from you guys that there's so many series I never would have read if it wasn't for recommendations on the channel. So I mean, Sun Eater is one. I never would have picked up Sun Eater if it wasn't for BookTube and meeting people in this community. So again, guys, thank you guys so much. It's such a pleasure to create videos and just talk to you on this platform, and as always, we'll see you next time. Cheers.